Welcome to the Cryptic Files, a compilation of 10 scary videos from the Cryptic Files. 10. Located in the Essex town of Halstead in the UK is a seemingly ordinary terraced house. No creaky doors or rusty gates here. Indeed, there's nothing about this house that should make it stand out from any other. And yet there is something different about the house that makes it stand out. For this house is believed to be haunted. As there is evidence of paranormal activity in the house, Phil and Jeff of Ghost Tech Paranormal were given the opportunity to investigate. But first, some history of the house. The house was recently purchased by its current owners, who have subsequently let it out to the tenants who now live there. Both the tenants and the owners have experienced odd activity in the house. However, that's hardly surprising considering its rather interesting history. Jeff's detailed research into the history of the house had revealed that the previous occupant had in fact died in the house. As the owner had lived alone at the time, his body wasn't discovered for several days afterwards. So is it he who haunts the building? Jeff and Phil's investigation was determined to discover the truth. This is what they found. While Phil and Jeff do indeed capture some strange sound anomalies, including possible voices, by far the most interesting footage is captured by one of their static cams based in the lounge of the house. The camera is filming towards the staircase and, as Jeff himself describes, captures something really quite remarkable. Have a look.
I hear movement coming from the stairs, and our static cam in the lounge, which is filming that area, has captured what we believe to be the best footage of a spirit forming and then moving into a solid wall. First, we will show the footage from our static cam in the lounge area. If you look at the top of the stairs, you will see a figure form. We know that it is not contamination from the outside, as we have blacked out every window in the house. Watch as it slowly appears here behind the struts of the staircase. The figure is black and solid, and as I say to Phil that there is movement on the stairs, you can see my IR lights as I turn the camera towards that area. And as Phil and I make our way to the stairs, the figure then steps back into the wall and disappears.
So to ask the immortal question, did you see it? Let's have a closer look. Here I've zoomed into the area where the figure forms. Unfortunately, the resolution isn't the best. But you can see that the figure seems to fade into view rather than stepping into frame. Which of course would suggest it possibly isn't simply a person. So what have they captured? Here you can see an image of the staircase that was captured during the daytime in a very similar position to where the IR camera was set up later in the evening that recorded the figure on the stairs. Jeff also recorded some video footage from the staircase itself, again giving you a clear idea of where the figure appeared to be standing. In order to try and get some more detail from the imagery, I'm going to try some enhancements and see if they help. By adjusting the brightness and contrast and adding a little more sharpness to the image, we can see a little more detail of what appears to be forming on the stairs. It clearly has a defined shape, certainly having the impression of being a pair of legs forming. And then, very definitely, stepping back out of frame. Of course, one important question would be where are Phil and Jeff at the time? Well, we know Jeff is on the ground floor, he's filming in the corridor. But where was Phil at the time? Well, thankfully, both were captured by their own cameras, so we know exactly where they were standing, as you can see. Importantly, we can also see that there is nobody else on the stairs. The camera in the bottom left is framing the top of the staircase, so if someone was on the stairs, then as they'd stepped back, they would have appeared in frame on the camera at the top of the stairs. But clearly, they don't. So what have Jeff and Phil captured at the house in Halstead? Is it genuinely haunted, perhaps by its original owner? One thing's for certain, there doesn't appear to be anybody else in the building, so whatever that is on the stairs isn't just another person. Unless, of course, it is a ghost. But what do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments below. You can see Jeff and Phil's full investigation on the Ghost Tech YouTube channel, which is listed in the links below. 9. The following footage has become almost legendary in the world of the paranormal. It quite simply began as a woman attempted to capture on video the sounds that she'd heard during the night in her room. What she captured wasn't sound, but it was something rather different. Have a look. It seems for all the world as if some kind of animal has looked onto the bed and fallen backwards quite quickly. Except the woman has no pets, no dogs, no cats, nothing. So what is it that jumps onto the bed? Whatever it is, it doesn't appear to have any weight because there's no indentation made into the bed as whatever it is lands. And yet it does seem to have definite form. Have a closer look at this particular image. I think it's probably the clearest we have of whatever it is. So, is it a ghost? Is it an animal? Has someone simply thrown something at the bed? Well, the lack of impression indentation in the bed suggests it's not something physical. So, is it either a very strange camera glitch, or is the room actually haunted? You decide. Let me know what you think in the comments below. 8. The Silent Watcher. Finders Keepers History Seekers are a group of urban explorers based in the UK. Two of the team, Matt and Andy, go exploring an old abandoned farmhouse in the north of England, not far from the city of Doncaster. Now, it should be noted that neither Andy or Matt are ghost hunters. They are purely urban explorers who like to visit old buildings around the UK. And yet they capture something which even they can't explain, particularly as Andy is a self-confessed total skeptic of such things. Nevertheless, there's something not right with this video. Have a watch.
Right, so we'll head back down. Well, that sun's going to be down in a bit, so it's going to go dark quite quickly.
At first, everything seems all fine and normal as the guys continue to explore the derelict farm. However, quite without realizing it, Matt captures something on camera that is really quite astounding. Just watch.
So yeah, it's just a bit further up there.
Did you see it? If not, have a closer look at the doorway behind Andy as he passes it. There is clearly a figure standing in that doorway, seemingly dressed with a dark coat, quite long, and what may be a t-shirt or a shirt underneath, the white patch just peeking out over the top of the coat. But notice too, the face seems to be completely devoid of features, simply black. The figure stands there for a moment with no obvious signs of movement and obviously unnoticed by the guys as they continue to explore. However, this isn't the only time the guys accidentally capture this strange figure watching them. Indeed, on this second occasion, he's even more obvious, and yet he's unnoticed at the time. Again, the figure just stands watching them. No movement, no sound. Simply observing. And Most alarmingly of all, he's captured a third time. Only this time, he doesn't simply stand. This time, he actually moves.
Beautiful countryside. There's some amazing big pile of pan tiles over there. There's some really nice masonry, and one thing that there's some good history to.
Although nothing like as obvious as the previous two occasions, there is a third time the mysterious figure appears. It's quite distant, but you have to look closely. Watch between Matt and Andy as they're talking. The large hole in the building in the background, right in the centre. Keep watching. As Matt finishes speaking, it seems as if something has changed or moved. In fact, it appears as if a figure has moved away. If you look at the image taken by Andy earlier on when he was filming around, you can see it's quite light with daylight reflecting off whatever's in the building. And yet certainly at the beginning of this section of the video, the area's darker with a white patch. Quite like the figure we'd already seen with what might be perhaps a white t-shirt or a shirt underneath darker clothing. Watch closely as whatever it is appears to move away. So what is it that the guys have captured in their video? Is it perhaps somebody who's actually living on the site unknown to anybody else? Or is it actually haunted and they've captured the image of a ghost? According to a local story, the farmer who previously owned the building committed suicide on the site. So perhaps it's him. Or is it just a hoax? Certainly looks quite convincing, but we can never be truly sure. The guys themselves absolutely insisted they were not aware of anybody in the filming when they were recording. And yet the figure is relatively close, particularly on the second occasion. You could say that they've intentionally framed him on the third occasion in the distance, but of course it's just the way the guys are standing, holding the camera. So, what can we say for certain? I'd like to know your thoughts. As always, let me know in the comments below what you think of the guys have actually captured here. You can see the entire exploration video over on their YouTube channel. Well worth a check out, as some of the videos are actually quite funny as well as informative and interesting. 7. Take a look at this brief video. At first, the footage looks absolutely normal. Why would there be anything strange about it? But watch it again, a little slower, and pay attention to the boy in the blue t-shirt. Okay, where did he come from? He's not at the start of the video. He just seems to appear in front of the gate and climb up. It could just be a video footage glitch, but there's definitely no sign of him at the start of the video, and yet there he is. So, what do you think? Is it paranormal? Has he materialized from nowhere? Or is it some kind of strange, clever trick? You decide. Let me know what you think in the comments below. 6. A haunted forest. CJ and his dog Lance travel across the UK and Europe in their camper van, which is actually a converted ambulance. CJ regularly uploads videos of his trips across Europe and the UK, but none of which have ever been in any way paranormal. That is, except this one. During a trip to a region of southern France, CJ's refrigerator unfortunately broke down. To fix it, he had to leave it upside down for up to 24 hours. So he was effectively stuck in the area he found himself. Unfortunately, there was something a little strange about not only the area, but somebody he encounters.
To settle, for the gas to settle. Now I've just flipped it upside down and back again, so...
It's at this point that CJ notices his dog Lance is acting a little strange.
You keep freaking me out, dog. There's no one over there.
CJ then begins to explain just what it is that Lance might be looking at.
There's actually a well, just where I'm parked. You go down this little track, and there's a well with a big metal bar on it. And originally I was going to go and park there, and I saw the well. Instantly started thinking about the ring, which when I was about, I think it was about 10 when it came out, scared the out of me. For like a month I didn't sleep properly.
whilst leaving the fridge upside down in the hopes it will actually help repair it, CJ decided to go to explore a bit further, and then started to hear some rather strange noises coming from somewhere in the wood.
I could hear like really loud moaning, like just booming across the mountains. So I've come down to where I could hear it. I got to this old well and it stopped. I mean, that thing's wild freaky. It's like something out of The Ring. But just as soon as I got here, just from over there's no track or anything, it's just wood. This girl appeared, dressed kind of like a monk, no shoes, and no hair. So I said bonjour and that, and she responded. I asked if she was okay, but she didn't respond then. She just carried on walking. So I carried on a bit and then thought I better double check. Went to go and find her again. She's gone. So up that way, that's where my van is, and that goes to the road. But down where she went that way, there's nothing, and there's nothing for miles. Where did she go? I'm gonna leave.
And then CJ actually captures her on camera. CJ also explains how Lance is normally a very friendly dog, always approaching new people. However, on this occasion, he steers well clear of the strange girl and keeps back. So what can we make of CJ's rather unusual encounter? Of course, she may not be a ghost or paranormal at all, but simply somebody wandering through the woods. However, as CJ points out, they're absolutely miles from anywhere, and the woman is dressed in what appears to be a monk's costume with bare feet and shaven head. So, why would she be out there? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. The one thing I would say is I've watched quite a few of CJ's videos now, and I don't think there's any chance he's deliberately faked this. This is genuine. Whether it's a ghost or a person is a question, but it's certainly not fake. But what do you think? You can watch all of CJ and Lance's adventures across the UK and Europe by following their YouTube channel, which is listed in the links below. 5. While one of my esteemed colleagues in the world of ghost videos has already pointed out a number of anomalies in this particular piece of footage, there are a couple of scenes that both the original uploader and the top 5 video person seem to have missed, so I thought we'd check it out. But first, some background. The Bearded Explorer is a UK-based urban explorer who's visited a number of locations across the UK. Most of his videos are interesting explorations of derelict buildings, but virtually none of them feature anything paranormal, apart from this one.
Come to explore an abandoned hospital. Now, this hospital is meant to be really creepy and there's a lot of stuff in there. So let's go and check it out and see what we can find. Okay, so I found a way into this hospital. Oh, I can smell it as soon as I get in. Wow. Oh my goodness me, this is super, super creepy. Wow, this is so cool. Look at all of the furniture in here. They must have left everything here. All the old beds as well, everything's still here. And look, there's some mirrors on those back ones there. Wow. This must have been a ward. I've just noticed the curtain rails hanging up. I'm actually stood inside one at the moment. Ah, look at that. Visitors are not permitted to smoke.
Whilst Mr. Bearded's exploration of the building initially shows nothing unusual other than a very derelict building, apart from the odd strange sound, it isn't until later on when he's starting to take some cinematic photographs and filming that really strange things begin to happen. Just watch. Okay, that was all pretty fast and quite frantic, but has the Bearded Explorer actually captured something? Have a look, because it appears he has. It's not easy to make out, but there does appear to be some kind of movement at the end of the corridor. Here it is again, zoomed in and slowed down. It is hard to make out, but there appears to be some kind of movement in this area. But whatever it is, it scares the hell out of the bearded explorer, and he gets the hell out of there and ends his investigation. For now, at least. After numerous requests from his viewers, the bearded explorer decides to return to the hospital on Halloween 2021, which coincidentally is the same night I launched this channel.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to tonight's special Halloween video. So tonight I have come back to the hospital where I caught something on camera. I'm not going to say whether it was a ghost, I don't know what it was. But tonight I am here on my own, as you can see in the pitch black. And we're going to take a walk around this hospital. It's going to be absolutely terrifying. So let's go and see what happens. Oh God, cannot believe that I'm doing this on my own at night. Oh, okay. Okay, right. Definitely not going up that way first, I'm going this way first. Oh, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? I think I'm talking a lot just so I can like distract my mind, because I cannot believe I'm in here on my own at night. Oh, this is creepy. This is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, the creepiest thing I have ever done in my life. You know what? It's scary down here, but I'm really not looking forward to going up there. Not after what I saw last time. I just want to go, to be honest. This is terrifying me. Oh, this is... I just can't describe to you guys like how scared I am right now. I'm just absolutely in myself. I really am. Oh. Why am I doing this? Why am I here on my own, walking around this abandoned hospital that I saw something? I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a ghost. It wasn't a shadow. I mean, I can show you guys now, right? This is basically where I was standing. This is where I was. The camera was literally there. This is what you saw. Basically that. I ran back here, and as I picked it up, I went like that, and then I saw something just behind that blue chair. Now, bearing in mind I saw it with my own eyes, I didn't realise I had it on camera, but a lot of you guys were saying it's shadows, it's this, it's that, but you know, I just cannot stress to you enough that this wasn't a shadow. I actually saw something move with my own eyes, and I don't know what it was. I honestly don't know what it was. You know, there is no shadow moving behind that. There's just nothing there. Whatever it was moving behind that chair on its own. I don't know. As you can tell, I'm probably putting off going up there. But, oh, Jesus Christ.
But just as the bearded explorer is finishing his explanation of what he saw, right, he hears something.
Let's do this. What the hell was that?
Can you see it? Well, clearly the bearded explorer didn't see it, and neither did my YouTube colleague see it. But can you?
What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
Mr. Bearded doesn't notice it, but if you look closely, there appears to be a light or lampshade swinging, as if something has hit it.
What the hell was that? I'm sure I heard something. I don't know. It's probably just a wind.
Unaware of what he's captured, Mr. Explorer continues.
I mean, it is a little bit windy out there today, but it's not... What was that? Okay, this is the worst part for me. I mean, I did come back here with Taser, and it was about 3 or 4 days after this happened, because it was playing on my mind so much. I felt that I had to come back here and just come here again and just see, you know, try and find a reason, you know, like an explanation, if you like, to...
From this point on, our intrepid explorer starts to hear more and more sounds around him.
But I never put... This is weird. I think it is just Whoa. Okay. Okay, that's scary. I'm pretty sure it is just water dripping, but... Oh.
Okay, I'm going to freeze the footage for a moment here because I want you to notice something on the floor. There, circled, is a ball. Make a note of that because that's important.
God, this is absolutely... What the fuck? No, I'm hearing noises all around me. I don't know what it is. There is... What is it about this place?
As the bearded explorer pans round, something's changed.
Oh, I hate this place, I really do. Just listening. Just listening. Just listening.
And with that, the bearded explorer is out of there.
Oh, God. Right. I'm never coming back here again.
So what did the bearded explorer encounter in the building? On both occasions. Who or what moved that ball? Is it real proof that the place is actually haunted? I certainly think the bearded explorer thinks so, despite saying before he was a skeptic. He's clearly captured something on camera. But what do you think? Is this all real? Or is someone perhaps playing a joke on him? Is it really haunted? Or just a hoax? Let me know what you think in the comments below. You can see both full investigations over on the Bearded Explorer's YouTube channel, which is listed in the descriptions.
I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words. I genuinely am lost for words. I'm just glad I'm back at the car.
4. In another case of what the hell have I videoed, Cheyenne found that her father's CCTV had captured something truly bizarre. Take a look. Cheyenne's dad said he'd felt the sheets move during the night, but had no idea what it was that was causing it. Looking closer, and in slow motion, it looks as if someone sits up in the bed, then falls forward and vanishes. Interestingly, if you watch very closely, it does seem that whatever it is still moving the entire time the video is recording. Still not sure what on earth we're looking at, but there's something there, certainly. Cheyenne and her father are sure it's not him, as he was asleep at the time and there was no one else in the bed. But what do you think? Is Cheyenne's dad sharing his bed with a ghost? Or is something else happening here? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Also, you can find a link there back to the original video on Cheyenne's Twitter feed, although you may have to scroll through to find it. 3. As a teenager, Adam Mawson realised there was something rather strange about his family home in Yorkshire, England. Rather disturbingly, Adam discovered that the house was actually built on the site of a former cemetery. Beginning in 1992, Adam began to document the various strange happenings he was experiencing in the family home. In this particular piece of video footage we're about to watch, Adam and his younger brother attempted to film what was going on in the hallway in the upstairs part of the house. What they captured was unbelievable. Watch. This is the original video footage. I've made no changes to it whatsoever, other than removing the original sound. What first appears to be a figure, either standing in front or seated on the chair. The text you are seeing was added to the video by the original YouTube uploader, link to which is in the description below. So it's up to you whether you want to take what they're saying or mine. But it appears the figure then rises up from the chair, possibly moving towards the camera, certainly moving towards our left, before moving to the right and disappearing out of frame, before returning, seemingly even taller, perhaps closer to the camera, before again disappearing to the right, before returning again and moving across to the left. And as the text says, a second, shorter figure seems to appear and move from left to right, again disappearing to the left. It's worth remembering this video footage was recorded in the early 1990s, long before the likes of Adobe Premiere and other home video editing software, so it would have been practically impossible to have created this on any kind of computer, at least that Adam could have accessed. So what are we seeing here? Is this some kind of clever fake? Or is it real? Whatever it is, it's pretty spooky. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe it's real, or has he somehow managed to fake it? You decide. 2. Located in northern Utah in the United States, the Skinwalker Ranch is considered to be one of the most paranormally active places in the world. And, not surprisingly, it's been the focus of numerous books, movies, and most recently TV shows, including the excellent Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. And, while the show has already captured numerous anomalies, they may have missed one in plain sight. During the early hours of the morning, the lead scientist Travis Taylor is awoken by a noise and goes out to investigate.
So William just woke me up. It's like 4:51 a.m. in the morning, and he's barking like crazy, and he took off running out across the field. I'm gonna go see if I can see what it was. All right, William, what are you barking at?
Did you see it? Well, it appears the production team didn't, as there's no mention of this anomaly in any of the show's commentary. And even though the flash is in plain sight, it's never mentioned again. In case you didn't see it, here it is again in slow motion. So, what is it they've captured, and why is it not mentioned in the programme? So it's a mystery. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. 1. It's not often that an ardent skeptic changes their mind after an experience, but in the case of Australian reporter Helen Parker, that's exactly what happened. Watch.
This is Dalhousie Castle in Scotland. It's 800 years old. And the reason why we're here is because the place is rumoured to be haunted. Yes, Lady Catherine centuries ago was a troubled teenager whose mum and dad wouldn't let her see the love of her life. So she locked herself in a top room and starved herself to death. Well, she has shown up, they think, as a shadowy, smoky figure in a number of guest photographs who've stayed here. So tonight we're going to stay here, have dinner down in the dungeon, and have a look around to see if Lady Catherine makes an appearance. Okay, I'm going. I came here not believing in ghosts, but all that would change. 9 hours before this encounter, I bunked down in my room at Dalhousie. The place is now a stunning hotel with views and fittings that give guests a taste of life from centuries ago. Yet when you think of the 800-year history, it's no wonder there have been ghost sightings here. Even the dining room was once a dungeon. So as the sun goes down and guests go to bed, it's lights off and time for me to start looking for Lady Catherine. A ghost. Catherine. Within its labyrinth of hallways and rooms, there's no sign of ghosts, but there's one place I haven't checked. Let's It's now nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm down here in the dungeon. We were having dinner earlier tonight down here. And it's definitely a very, very different mood now. The rest of the castle have gone to bed. Now I should point out I'm the only one in the dungeon. Just me and my camera, and I'm facing the only doorway. So, had no signs of her tonight. But if ever you were going to see a ghost, you think it would be here. So maybe it's all just rubbish. Maybe it's all just hocus pocus. Maybe there is no such thing as ghosts whatsoever. Anyway, I'm prepared to wait. Catherine. Oh, Catherine. The chair next to me is about to start thumping on its own. You'll be able to clearly hear it. It's creeping me out now. Okay, I get it. I'm going. Okay, Catherine, I get it. Then something moves in the dungeon, but I'm not staying to find out what it is. I'm freaking going. I'd like to think I'm a pretty rational person, but and if you're interested to play back what's on that tape. The chair banging on its own with such purpose is what scared me. And an intense electric feeling down the right side of my face and head. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm shaking like a leaf. Anyway, she was probably just knocking on the chair to say hello and can you let me out of this castle? In the beginning, I'd assumed either nothing would happen here or I'd fall asleep on camera. Whatever my encounter was, it was one of the biggest frights of my life.
So that's Helen's experience. Now you may have seen this video footage elsewhere before, but nowhere else has actually tried to enhance it by increasing the light and make it sharper. So I've had a go. Have a look, see if there's anything else in the footage that you can spot.
Had no signs of her tonight. But if ever you were going to see a ghost, you think it would be here. So maybe it's all just rubbish. Maybe it's all just hocus pocus. Maybe there is no such thing as ghosts whatsoever. Anyway, I'm prepared to wait. Catherine. Oh, Catherine. The chair next to me is about to start thumping on its own. You'll be able to clearly hear it. It's creeping me out now. Okay, I get it. I'm going. Okay, Catherine, I get it. Then something moves in the dungeon.
In between the beeped out profanities, you can hear a high-pitched scrape,
Then something moves in the dungeon.
which is clearly the noise that Helen's talking about.
I'm freaking going.
But also, let's recheck the footage of the chair moving. The chair that actually makes the noises is to Helen's immediate right, so it's slightly out of frame. However, is there anything else going on in that area of the footage? Have a closer look. It may just be pixelation, but there seems to be something there.
Wait. Catherine. Oh, Catherine. The chair next to me is about to start thumping on its own. You'll be able to clearly hear it. It's creeping me out now. Okay, I get it. I'm going. Okay, Catherine, I get it.
So did Helen capture more than she'd realised? Or is it just pixelation? What do you think? It's for you to decide. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed this compilation, because I'll be making another one next week. Until then, see you soon.